Hi everyone and welcome to the online information evening. I'm Suzanne Laurie. I am one of the directors at the Institute of Health Sciences and I am going to be talking to you this evening about our diploma in nutrition and lifestyle coaching and our diploma in nutritional therapy. If you just bear with me one moment, I want to make sure that I am recording this evening for anybody who can't make it, or for if you have any technical issues this evening, we can just make sure we can send you on the link tomorrow so you can have a look through the information again in your own time should you want to do so. So do relax and listen. As I said, everyone will be getting a copy of the presentation this evening, so there's no need to sort of frantically be taking notes or what have you. With this evening, we are expecting a number of participants. So generally speaking, I would take questions throughout the presentation. What I'm going to do this evening, just so that we can keep the flow and get as much information to everybody as possible, is hold the questions until the end of each diploma. So I'll talk about the nutrition and lifestyle coaching diploma. Just note your questions down if you've got any, and if they've not been answered by the time we get to the end of that diploma, then you can write your questions into the chat function at that point. And I'll do the same at the end of the section on nutritional therapy as well. So hopefully that's okay for everyone. There is a lot of information in the presentation, so I should be answering most of your questions as we're going along. So the agenda for this evening then, I'm going to do my level best to keep this to an hour. It's going to be a bit tricky talking about two courses, but I will do my best. I'm going to give you a brief introduction to IHS. We think it's really important that you understand who you're going to be studying with, making sure that the ethos and the philosophies of the college and how things are taught match your expectations and what you're looking for. So I'll give you some brief information. Then we're going to talk about our UK level 4, so that's Irish level 6 diploma in nutrition and lifestyle coaching. Take some questions if there are any about that. Then we'll move on to our UK level 6, Irish level 7, 8 diploma in nutritional therapy, and then there'll be time for questions after that as well. Anyone who is just interested in the diploma in nutrition and lifestyle coaching, please feel free to duck out at the end of that presentation. There's no need to stay till the end because you'll have all the information that you need at that point. Anybody who wants to stay till the end, absolutely, we'd love to see you till the end. So, as promised then, who are IHS? Well, we are an industry and academically recognised institute, and we offer training specifically in the areas of nutrition and more recently coaching. It's our 13th year, coming up to 14th year as a training provider. We started off in Ireland running part-time courses. We now have a venue in London, and we have more students who are e-learners than anything else. So we have over 300 students, and that's now globally. If you just bear with me, I think a comment has come in through chat. I just want to make sure that everyone can hear. Okay, no worries, Jabeen. It doesn't matter. As I said, somebody's had to leave. That's okay. We're going to have a recording of this evening so you can pick it up afterwards. Just bear with me, though, because I have managed to move my slides on quite a lot. So I'm not sure how I did that. And I now think I'm going the wrong way. So bear with me one moment. I'm just going to escape and hold back to the beginning. So here we go. So we have over 300 students globally, and all our courses are designed for adult learners. So we offer part-time and online study options, and we aim to make our courses as accessible to adult learners as possible. So we know that most people have very busy lives. They might be working, they might have families, all kinds of things could be going on. So we try to ensure that the way we teach and how we interact with students and what we teach suits the adult learner. And all our courses are evidence-based, okay? So we don't teach anything that there isn't at least some scientific evidence for. Some of it might be emerging evidence. We will always discuss that with students and use that to inform our students of where they would be sitting in the healthcare arena. But everything comes from an evidence base. And our approach to healthcare is very much personalised. We believe that there isn't a one-size-fits-all approach to healthcare, that every individual has differing needs in terms of healthcare because of genetics, their environment, their diet, lifestyle choices, all these things combined. And we also take a very integrative approach to healthcare. So we believe that the body is a whole and a person needs to be treated as a whole as opposed to just looking at individual components. So in terms of teaching methodology then, we really aim as a college to make sure that whether you're studying with us part-time in class or online, that you have a really supportive, dynamic and interactive learning experience. So as we go through the slides, you'll see how we're doing that, but we really make use of technology, of all the different teaching methods that are now available to ensure that even our online learners have interaction with us, that they have interaction with their peers, and that they're really learning by doing. And I'm always immensely proud of the IHS team. There are 27 of us now within the college, and there's a wealth of experience within that 27 people in terms of education, in terms of scientific background. The vast majority of us are practitioners, nutritional therapists, health and wellness coaches. We have a licensed psychologist, an NLP master practitioner. There's all kinds of experience in there. A lot of us are also coaches, particularly health and wellness coaches, and we have a lot of business experience, which is hugely important because the type of courses, the practitioner courses that we're teaching often end with individuals training to see clients one-on-one, but they're working for themselves. So it's really important that you understand how to build and maintain a business in the integrative healthcare arena. So what do our graduates think about us then? Here are a few testimonials that have come in over the last year, and we always love to receive these, and we love when students can see the dedication that we have to our students, that the support that is offered from the team, because we really do aim to give everybody as best education experience as we possibly can. And of course, when you're being told that you have changed somebody's life and you've inspired them to change other people's lives, top of that, it's a nice feeling. So let's look then in more detail at nutrition and lifestyle coaching. So the best place to start when trying to understand what you'll be studying is to understand what you will be doing at the end of the course, so when you graduate. And nutrition and lifestyle coaches work with individuals and or groups of people, and the aim is to help those people improve their health and well-being. So you have a number of tools to do that, and it's kind of in two phases, if you like. So you're analysing where a person is at first, and then you have your tools to help them move to where they would like to be. So in terms of analysis, a nutrition and lifestyle coach would analyse where somebody is with their diet. So that can be done using questionnaires, either online or paper-based, and also dietary analysis software. So we currently use in the college a piece of software called Nutritics, which allows you to analyse the micronutrient content of the diet, the ratios of those different nutrients. It breaks them down into the smaller subparticles, so the essential fats, different amino acids, etc. So a really comprehensive report that you can use to show your clients to help them move forward. You also look at body composition analysis, so understanding things like BMI, weight, hip-waist ratio, how important these things are in where somebody is, and how they are used as markers for health as well. And then your ultimate aim is to put together, suggest changes for your clients that are going to help move them to a healthier place. And your main tool for doing that is food. So you're looking at the different food groups, ensuring that people are eating optimally for their health and for their lifestyle, their particular needs. Looking at how they can optimize their nutrition, looking at any challenges that they have that might be impacting how they're eating, and working around those with your clients. The same with lifestyle changes. So looking at things like sleep, rest, stress, movement, be that formal exercise or just moving throughout their daily lives, suggesting changes there. And over-the-counter supplements. So with our nutrition and lifestyle coaching course, we ask that graduates, and particularly when we're teaching, that they use supplements that are already available over-the-counter to their clients. And that is to keep your clients safe and to keep you safe as a practitioner. With 1 year's training, the information that you have isn't enough to use some of the stronger practitioner formulations, but there's lots of supplements for you to use, and there's a lot of self-prescribing going on in the world. So you can really use your skills to stop people making inappropriate choices, to be taking supplements that they shouldn't, with medication, with different herbs, taking too many supplements together, whatever it is. So we teach you how to safely and sensibly use supplements. And then one of the key skills of a nutrition and lifestyle coach is the coaching. So it's being able to help somebody make changes. And at IHS, we use, when we're teaching communication skills, the health and wellness model of coaching. So you can look that up online. It is seen as one of the most effective ways of helping somebody with long-term change, because it comes from the basis that change is hard and that somebody has to find their own motivation, and that all you can do is help them find that motivation. And that is a skill in itself. So we include that throughout our course so that you have a really strong package of tools at the end of the year. And the key focus then is offering advice, offering strategies, encouragement and support to your clients for making long-term diet and lifestyle change. So it's an exciting career. Now, just a note about nutrition and lifestyle coaching and what it isn't. So with a year course and with what is considered secondary healthcare, you're not qualified to carry out symptom analysis and to diagnose and treat named conditions. So your job isn't to sit there and say, okay, well, I can see ABC symptoms, I think you've got, and I'm going to give you this to treat it, okay? That's the job of a primary healthcare practitioner. So it might be a GP, nurse, whoever it is that somebody is working with. Now, that's not to say you can't work with individuals who have named conditions. Most of our graduates would have clients who have named conditions, but they're just still working with their GP as well. And what you're doing in the background is the really important job of supporting that client, making sure that their diet and lifestyle is working as best as it can for them to keep them or to get them towards optimum health. So, why study nutrition and lifestyle coaching with IHS then? Well, there are a number of reasons that we believe give us a really strong course. First and foremost, academic accreditation. So our program is approved by Ofqual. So it is on the UK education framework as a regulated qualification. It's the only qualification of its kind that is. So it's UK level 4, which is the equivalent to Irish level 6. And for anyone outside the UK and Ireland, that is European level 5. And logistically, that is the equivalent to the level of the first year of a degree. So it also has significant industry recognition. So we are recognised by the Complementary Medical Association. So our graduates can join this association and they can insure themselves to practice through that association, or they can insure themselves to practice directly through Baylands Insurance, who are a really big insurance for integrative healthcare professionals. And also our approach to nutrition and lifestyle, we feel gives real strength to the course. So I mentioned earlier that as a college, we really believe in a personalised approach to healthcare, and that transfers to this diploma as well. And what's interesting is that recent research, a very big study from Europe, it was called the Food for Me project, has demonstrated that personalized nutrition messages, so working with clients individually and taking a more coaching approach, is far more effective than general recommendations for improving health. So things like the 5-a-day message, or the, reducing salt intake, those things. So what individuals and governments are realizing is that there is a need for more trained professionals in nutrition who can take this personalized message and work with individuals. There's a real requirement, and that is what we teach on our course. And we believe that our course is very unique in how we package together the knowledge and skills. So you gain a really sound nutrition science grounding, but it's based on personalised nutrition. We work with you hard on properly analysing a diet and understanding what is going on in a diet and what an individual's needs might be. We also spend a lot of time on meal planning. So it's not just as simple as throwing in a few more fruits and vegetables, lowering the salt or processed food, that kind of thing. So what does this individual need? What are the challenges that this individual has? So maybe in terms of stress levels, inability to cook, a lack of knowledge about food, a lack of funds for expensive health food products. So really tailoring a meal plan to an individual's needs, and then coaching your clients to success. And what's great with this diploma as well is that it can be tailored to your career requirements. So a lot of individuals come on board wanting to see clients one-to-one, but that doesn't have to be the case. There are many more things that you can do, and you can really design your career to suit your strengths, to suit what you're bringing in terms of other skills and qualifications, and to suit your goals and lifestyle. So just some examples here of some of the things that our graduates do. They work in private practice, so that might be independently or in an integrative healthcare clinic, or it might be that they already have a career as a therapist and they're adding something else on. Some people really like working with groups, so they go for a more education route, and they might do evening classes or group programs for specific groups of individuals. So for example, clients who all want to lose weight or improve their energy, or we have graduates who work quite specifically with new mums. There's lots of different avenues that you can go down there. We are recognised by Zest for Life, and our graduates can become affiliates for Zest for Life. Zest for Life is a company who run 12-week programs for the general public to help them improve their health, well-being and energy. Traditionally, you had to be a nutritional therapist, so you had to have studied for over 3 years in order to be a Zest for Life affiliate, but they recognise the quality of our programme and particularly the coaching element, and so we have a number of graduates from this 1-year diploma who are Zest for Life affiliates. Some individuals want to work in the health retail industry, so that might be doing in-store consultations on the shop floor. We have graduates who have designed health food products, healthy ice lollies, kefir-based ice creams. Some people affiliate with weight loss clinics, with gyms, with pharmacies. Wellness programs for big companies or small companies are becoming very, very popular. They're understanding that a company is only as healthy as its staff. If you like writing, there are loads of avenues for blogging, for vlogging, for print media, all kinds of areas, or you might use it to enhance a current career. So we have a number of chefs on the course, teachers, carers, fitness professionals, and the list gets longer year on year. If you just bear with me a moment, somebody has raised their hand, so I just want to see if there's anything that I need to. Okay, if you just bear with me, I think some people came on later, so I'm going to answer all the questions when I've finished talking about this diploma, just because there's a number of people on the call this evening, so I want to keep the flow and want to make sure we get as much information out as possible. So keep putting your questions in the Q&A section, and I will answer them as soon as I get to the end of this section. Okay, so just bear with me one moment. I think I moved the... For some reason, sorry folks, let me just go back again. It keeps jumping to there. There we go. Okay, so we're going to get onto the logistics now. Now what you know what you would do with the course and what you can expect when you graduate, let's look at what you can expect as a student on this program. So there are 16 units on this year-long program, and you can see here it's a real mix of your nutrition units, so things like macronutrients, weight management, micronutrients, food groups, etc. But then you can see the coaching skills in there, things like reflective practice, so teaching you how to learn as well as you can and how to use that in your career. And then things like optimizing nutrition, so really understanding how to get the most out of food and helping individuals get the most out of food, so using things like fermentation, soaking, sprouting, etc. Making sure that you understand food production, so what happens from farm to fork to food and how that impacts nutrient status. And then things like nutrition for population groups, so that you have a really good understanding of the needs of some of your potential client base. So that might be because of ethical reasons, so things like veganism, vegetarianism, but then different life stages and how they impact our nutrition requirements, any challenges that they throw up, shift workers, those who are particularly stressed, those kind of population groups. So it gives you a really good grounding for working with different individuals in the industry. So you can see that there's a really strong core content in the course. And just a note for anybody who is thinking about doing our diploma in nutritional therapy, this one-year diploma in nutrition and lifestyle coaching is the first year of that course. So after the first year, you have this standalone qualification, you can go out and practice, and then you can continue studying on for a further 2.5 years for your diploma in nutritional therapy. So in terms of course structure then, it is 1 year in length, approximately 11 months from start to finish, and there are flexible learning options. So you can study with us entirely online, and if you choose to do so, there are 3 start dates in the year. So September, which is coming around fast. Obviously, we're in September at the moment, so anybody who is looking at that, I'll take you through the enrolment process so that you can get cracking and get on board with us. If not, then, and you're looking for a later start, then there's an option at the end of January, beginning of Feb, and the end of May, beginning of June. If you want to study in class, then we run an in-class version in Dublin, which is 10 full weekends of lectures throughout the academic year. And the start date for that is September. So if you're looking to do that, then we'll again talk through the enrolment process this evening. And then a blended learning version in London, which is 5 full weekends of lectures throughout the academic year. And again, the start date for that is September. In terms of study hours, you need to know that you have a baseline of at least 10 study hours per week. Now, I'm a big fan of being creative with study. I don't believe that that has to mean you're chained to your desk for 10 hours, particularly with the technology available today. So that can mean listening to podcasts on your commute. Moodle, which is the student management system that we need, has an app, so you can have your course material with you, your assessments, etc., as you're out and about, so you can be completing things online, watching things online, going through material. So the technology is making it much easier to fit study into a busy life. And in terms of student support, we pride ourselves on our student support at IHS. We work very hard to ensure that students are supported. We expect absolutely effort from our students, but we'll meet you in trying to make your experience as supported as possible. So everybody is enrolled on Moodle, and it's like a one-stop shop for everything, if you like. All your material, your assessments, your handbooks, student forums where you communicate with IHS staff and also your peers, they're all found there. So it's a one place to go. No stress of finding things, of worrying about losing emails, etc. All students also have a personal tutor. So that is the person who guides you through the course. They will give you feedback on your assessments. They're there to point you in the right direction if you need additional help from anybody else. And then all the units on the course also have a unit leader. So their role is as the expert in that piece of information and to support you through that unit. So they will guide you on assessments. They will chat to you on the forum, they will pose questions, they will make sure that everybody is moving through the material. Just really there is another support. And then we have a student support officer for anybody who's having additional difficulties, who needs to chat about their options. And online students, you receive exactly the same material as in-class students. So we put audio over the vast majority of the PowerPoints attached to each unit. So you're not left trying to just look at a few bullet points and figure out what are the important bits here, what's the main thrust that I'm supposed to be taking away. The unit leader will put audio over, as I said, the vast majority of the PowerPoints, and so you get the information from the horse's mouth, so to speak. And then we do utilise as much technology as possible to make the learning experience interactive. So there's multimedia clips throughout, there's recorded consultations and demos from qualified practitioners. We put you in small study groups so that you can practice things particularly like consultation skills and communication skills. And then we make a lot of use of forums. So in terms of you discussing things with each other, with us discussing things with you, posing questions, generating discussion, those kind of things. So it is, our online students tell us it is still an interactive environment, and they feel that they were supported and that they weren't alone in their journey as an IHS student. In terms of assessment, we use continual assessment, so there is no exam at the end of the course. That wouldn't tell us anything about whether you're going to be a good nutrition and lifestyle coach. We want to see you putting skills into practice. We want to see that you have the knowledge, but that you can apply it as well. So what you're working towards is case studies at the end of the course. But moving through that, you're doing paper-based cases, you're doing dietary analysis, meal planning, there's quizzes, there's short answer questions, there's your buddy coaching, so working in small groups together. There's all kinds of ways that we're assessing you. And it is important to note that we take a frequent, smaller approach to assessment. So instead of sort of throwing you a 2,000-word essay after 3 months and you finding out at that point that you've missed some key points, you'll be doing smaller assessments regularly so that we can give you regular feedback. You can use that feedback to improve your knowledge, improve your skills, and then keep building on what you're learning. So in terms of fees then, the course fees for this diploma, the online version of the course is 3295 or 2795, that one's sterling, or the in-class version is 3495. And there's monthly payment plans available. So you can either pay upfront in one instalment, you can pay in 2 installments, so over 2 semesters, or you can pay monthly. And if anybody wants more information on that, then if they just drop us a line, we can give you all the details about payments. And we also have a free trial. So we wanted people to be able to see what they would be studying before they studied it, because obviously we completely get that it's a big commitment, both in terms of time and money. So we have a 1-week free study trial, which we will sign you up for over a 2-week period. So if you don't get to it straight away, it doesn't matter. And it's based on material from the Nutrition and Lifestyle Coaching Diploma. So it's from Unit 2. It's a chunk of material from Unit 2. It's on Moodle, so you can see how Moodle works, and it's current course material. So there's no reason not to give it a go. We encourage everybody to try the free trial, see how you like it, see how you like the material, see how you like the, you know, the setup of the course, because it is structured in line with all our courses. So it's a great way to try before you buy, if you like. If you go onto our website, on every page there is a little, I think it's a green box, let's say green or orange, that says sign up for the free trial. So you can just click on that, send us your details, and we can get you set up. It runs every week, so we can get you set up pretty much straight away, and you can give it a go. Just a word on that, because people do worry that they have to complete all the material. There is an assessment in there. It's really for you to look at. You can complete it if you want to. You do not have to. You can literally just go into the free trial, have a look at a few things, use it that way. It's entirely up to you how much you engage with it. So don't worry, don't not do it because you think you're going to have to do a week's worth of study. You don't need to at all. But if you do the free trial and then you enroll with us, by this time next year, you could be a qualified nutrition and lifestyle coach. And here are some of the things that some of our successful graduates are doing. So BJ Broderick has set up her own company called Well Nice Pops, and they make absolutely gorgeous healthy ice lollies that are based on vegetables as well as fruit. So they're amazing. Yvonne Whitley started off by making a range of high protein treats, so brownies, raw brownies, power balls, etc. And she now runs her own health food cafe in a gym in Cork. Neve O'Connell really likes working with groups. She has founded the Wellness Clinic, but she also runs programs for new mums focused on self-care. So she uses her nutrition, she uses the lifestyle stuff, but she's also brought in some of her skills that she learned before this course in mindfulness, reflexology, and she runs lovely programs for new mums called Urban Mama. If you're interested in creating an online business, then Svetlana is an absolute textbook case of how to do that. She was one of our first graduates from this program, and she has a company called Dietary Coach Limited, and it specializes in weight loss coaching, but particularly for busy executives. So Svetlana has made it her business to understand the lifestyles and, you know, the needs of executives who fly a lot, who are relying on hotel and airport food, who are stressed, who are jet lagged, etc. And she tailors her programs to that market and has clients all over the globe. So she's a real success story. And then, of course, there are other options after completing the nutrition and lifestyle coaching. So you absolutely can go out and practice, but if you want to continue your study, if you're really interested in looking deeper into the science, particularly of chronic disease, how food and nutrients interact at a cellular level in the body and can improve or disprove health, and particularly interested in the functional medicine model of healthcare, then there's our diploma in nutritional therapy, which I'm going to be talking about in just a few minutes. Or we have a growing number of CPD courses, so professional and personal development courses. For those who do want to carry on learning, but they're not ready to commit to another sort of long course, if you like. So we currently have the certificate in personalised sports nutrition, which is a short 3-month course, the certificate in stress management, which is a 1-month little add-on, which is lovely, and the certificate in health and wellness coaching, which is another practitioner qualification, taking the coaching skills to a deeper level. So all of these can be completed online. The certificate in health and wellness coaching can be done in class part-time as well. And we're looking at we run them once or twice a year at the moment. So you can complete them during your nutrition and lifestyle coaching if you're wanting to, as long as you've done enough of the course. But we can chat through that with you for anybody who's interested, or you can complete them afterwards. So there's a number of options, and we're adding to our CPD base all the time. Okay, so that is the diploma in nutrition and lifestyle coaching. I can see that a number of questions have come in, so I'm just going to stop at this point and just work through these. Okay, where can I find reviews online of this course that aren't on the website? That's a very good question. I'm sure if you Google it, there's probably some out there. We do have graduates who have testimonials about the course on their own websites. We've obviously put testimonials on ours. We don't use currently anything like Facebook review or what have you, so you would be kind of relying on that information, but we can certainly put you in touch with previous graduates if you're wanting to talk to anyone who has done the course and to get more of a feel for their experience, if you like. Typical ages of people enrolling on the diploma course. Gosh, it varies and it's getting wider year by year. I suppose a typical age range would be, we would have said 30s, 40s before. I would now bring that down to kind of 25 plus, where we have more and more younger individuals coming on the course, but we have individuals in their 60s as well. It depends what you're wanting to do with it. It's a real passion project for a lot of people, so it really just spans the ages, if you like. So what is the academic level of the course? It is UK level 4, which is the equivalent of Irish level 6, which is on the EU education framework level 5. Is it possible to follow the programme from the abroad? Yes, it is fully online. Hopefully I've covered that for you. If we add on the sports nutrition module, how much extra time does that take? So 3 months. I think I've answered that one as well. Can foreign students be enrolled on the course? Absolutely, yes they can. If English is not your primary language, then we ask, it's a benefit if you've got an IELTS score. So that just demonstrates that you have proficient English in order to be able to cope with the written academic work. If you've studied a course in English before, then that's also evidence of that. If you don't have either of those things, then please don't let it put you off getting in touch. We can work with you on an individual basis. We may just ask you to write a few paragraphs about a specific topic for us, and to obviously speak to a member of staff so that we can just ensure that your English isn't going to be a problem. Somebody has done the Well Coaches degree and the plant-based nutrition certificate. Could I skip to the therapy part right away? I don't know the Well Coaches degree, so I'll be honest, I don't know the answer to that. What I would suggest if you're interested in potentially fast tracking is that you send us in your transcripts of results, you send us in details of the courses that you have studied, and then we can have a look at them on an individual level, and we can make an assessment on that. You'll be passed to the course leader for nutritional therapy and she will assess that for you. When do you have to enroll by for the September NLC course? Okay, so the September NLC course, both online and in class and blended learning, starts on Monday. Yes, Monday. Now, we will still take enrollments after that point, but only for a short number of weeks, because it's really important that you don't sort of start on the back foot. So anybody who is interested in starting the course in September, it's important that you get onto us ASAP. You can enroll through the website, so there's an enrollment form on there. I would say get that to us as soon as possible, because then we can work through the interview process with you, because we interview everybody for the programme, so we just need to make sure that you're not starting the course on a back foot, if you like. The first week is reading week, so it's getting to grips with the handbooks, with the structure of the course, getting to know your personal tutor, those kind of things. But there is an induction webinar that is important, and if you can be on that, that's ideal. So if we can get you started sooner rather than later, all the better. Okay. Is the course accredited by the Association for Nutrition? I'm presuming that's the UK association. It isn't. They only look at courses at a higher level. They look at nutrition science courses and dietetics courses. This is something quite different. This is a level 4 coaching course. So it's not a body that we've approached for recognition, and it's not in the arena that they accredit in. Are you accredited by the International Organization of Nutrition Consultants? No, we're not. I'll be honest, I don't know anything about that body, but I will certainly make a note of it and we can look into it. It's not one that we've approached. Will there be an info session on the nutritional therapy too? Yes, once I am through these questions, I'm going to talk about nutritional therapy now, and hopefully we will still be done just shortly after 8 o'clock. Who do I have to contact to understand if my English level is enough to follow the course? Okay, I would suggest that you send in an enrolment form, or on the website you can just send us a contact form. And if you state on there that you're looking at the diploma in nutrition and lifestyle coaching and you'd like to discuss your level of English, then someone will be in touch with you ASAP. You'll get a call tomorrow. Okay. Okay, just bear with me a moment. There is also a chat function, so I just want to make sure that I've got everything there. Why would someone choose to see a nutrition coach rather than a nutritional therapist? Great question. Nutritional therapists we're about to come on to. Nutritional therapists work at a deeper level, okay? So they would tend to specialize more in chronic diseases and really helping somebody unpick their chronic diseases. So it's amazing for working with individuals over a long period, but who are really invested in improving their health because they're dealing with something like chronic fatigue syndrome, metabolic syndrome, something that is quite debilitating. Nutritional therapists sometimes will work with individuals who don't need that level of support, so they're working in more of a coaching role. And what we identified, the reason that we put together the diploma in nutrition and lifestyle coaching is that there's a lot of individuals who don't have that level of chronic disease. They just want somebody to support them in eating better, in helping them with recipes, the real practical stuff, helping them feed their family better, that kind of thing. So this qualification allows individuals to be able to do that without having to study for 3.5 years. It's more for the graduate, I suppose, than the person on the street. They could work with either, assuming they don't have a serious chronic condition. I hope that makes sense. Is the 3-year degree course also accredited? It's a 3-year program. It's a diploma. It's not a degree course. It is accredited. I'll go through the accreditation. It's with Crossfields Institute. So yes, and how much is in class in pounds? I am so bad with the prices if I'm not looking at them. It's because I was thinking, we only do a euro price for that because we only run the in-class in Dublin. So if you're outside of Ireland and don't want to travel, then it would be the online version. So it's 4,195 for the next 2 years, and then 1,750 for the 6 months clinical practice at the end. Are the classroom lessons recorded and put on Moodle? No, they're not. The reason being, it always creates a lot of technical issues, and quite often you get something that may or may not be usable. We found that actually the way to use the technology is to have the unit leaders in their own time audio over the PowerPoints, because it's a much better tool for the students. Can I sign up again for the free trial? I wasn't able to do it last week. Absolutely, you can, Jessica. If you just send us a contact through the website on that one, or if you have the info email address, and they'll get you set up again. Your examples of graduates were people who set up their own businesses. Are there any graduates who gained employment from business industry? The answer is yes, but I'm always very honest with individuals. Most opportunities are you create your own, so you're working on a self-employed basis. There are kind of PAYE jobs out there, but they tend not to be full-time, and there are millions. You're not going to go and work in a hospital environment, that kind of thing, for example. However, there are more and more opportunities. We have a current graduate at the moment who is being employed by the NHS on a contract basis to work with diabetic patients on their nutrition and lifestyle. We have graduates who have been employed by supplement companies to train health food shop staff, etc. Some people have been employed by companies to go in and do talks for them. It's those kinds of opportunities. But as I said, they are growing year on year. I'm not around for the first module of the Diploma in Nutrition and Lifestyle Coaching. Is it necessary to attend all modules? Okay, so I presume you're looking at studying either in London or Dublin and aren't going to be able to make the weekend. You can absolutely still sign up. Because the course is written for e-learners as well, you will have all the material the same as your classmates. You'll have the audio over the material, so you'll have just missed the weekend content, okay? There is one weekend for in-class students that is compulsory towards the end of the course, but everything else, you know, we understand that people's lives are busy, so you can miss weekends. We don't necessarily think it's a great idea, so minimize it as much as possible, but you can. Okay, so I meant blended learning, the price in pounds. I'm not sure what that question is, Jessica, so could you put it in again for me, please? And in the meantime, I will crack on with questions. Sorry, have any more questions come in? Contact. Okay, are the payment plans all interest-free? The 2-semester payment plan is interest-free. The 10 installment payment plan has a €200 admin fee on there. Okay, so I think that's all the questions. I'm going to move on now to talk about the Diploma in Nutritional Therapy. So anybody who is just interested in nutrition and lifestyle coaching, thank you very much for attending. I hope this evening was of interest to you and helpful to you. Please do get in touch if you'd like more information. We can have somebody give you a call tomorrow. And as I said, if you're looking for a September start, then please do get your enrolment forms in ASAP. So the Diploma in Nutritional Therapy then. This is a longer course, and the place to start again is looking at what nutritional therapy is. So we've talked a little bit about it already because people are always desperate to ask the questions, but nutritional therapy really practically applies the latest scientific theories and research on nutrition and the health sciences, and you're looking to promote optimum health, but you're looking at how nutrients and foods interact with the body at a cellular level, either to optimize function or to promote dysfunction. And if it's promoting dysfunction, how that can be redressed by changing what an individual is eating and how they're living their life. So they're really looking to establish how genetics, how lifestyle, how dietary and environmental factors are contributing to a science, symptoms and potential illness. And the focus is on improving physiological function of all the bodily systems. You might be focused particularly more on one than another at the beginning, but you're looking at the body as a whole. How can I improve the function of this body? And you're trying to address any potential biochemical imbalances that might exist. And that is really helpful, or it can be really helpful in managing and alleviating a wide range of chronic conditions. And the nutritional therapy that we teach at IHS is based on the functional medicine model. So if you don't know anything about the functional medicine model, I'm going to show you a few slides here, but please do look it up online as well and make sure that it is something that resonates with you, that you believe is the way forward in terms of healthcare, because we very much do, and therefore our teaching is based on that. So what does a nutritional therapist do then? Well, similar to a nutrition and lifestyle coach, you're working with an individual, you've got your assessment tools, and then you've got your tools to help somebody move to where they want to be. You've just got more tools in your toolkit, if you like. So in terms of analysis, you're using the same dietary analysis tools in terms of asking the right questions, using online or paper questionnaires. using something like nutritics as a tool to really drill down into the specifics of the diet. But you also have biomedical tests that you can use. So you might ask your client to get those done, or it might be that they've had tests done through their GP or another healthcare provider, and you're helping interpret the results. So that can be anything from stool analysis to saliva tests for hormone profile. Your stool analysis would be for digestive function. There's a raft of new tests that will look at what we call genetic polymorphisms in the body. So different genetic quirks, if you like, that mean that your body isn't able to do something as well as somebody else's. So it might be for liver function, for hormone function, all kinds of things. The body composition analysis, as with the NLC, and then the functional medicine tools. So the Institute of Functional Medicine in the United States, when the body of functional medicine came together, they wanted to put together a model of healthcare that was really practical for healthcare professionals to use. So they give a load of tools and we teach with those tools. So how to track an individual's life on a timeline so that you can really understand how they've got to where they are. How to use what they call a matrix, again, to create a picture of your client so that you can more easily see which the most important imbalances might be for this individual. And then you've got your tools for helping an individual move back towards better health. So again, always starting with food. We believe whatever level of nutrition you're studying to, but really looking here at not just the food that is available, therapeutic foods. So using food as medicine, if you like, looking at things like the therapeutic therapeutic uses of mushrooms, of different herbs and spices, and really using them and manipulating somebody's diet to ensure that there are more of the foods that they need and less of the foods that are not working for them. Same with lifestyle changes, and then working with practitioner supplements. So supplements that you have to be a nutritional therapist in order to use with an individual, because they are more potent, they are stronger, and they need to be used with care. And our nutritional therapy is still packaged up with the coaching skills. We believe they are important for nutrition and lifestyle coaches, but for nutritional therapists, every healthcare professional, because they are the way to get somebody to engage with what you're asking them to do and really move forward and make long-term and lasting changes. So what you're doing is creating individualized protocols for clients to help reduce and remove factors that are not helping them with their health goals, and alleviating and managing symptoms. So career opportunities for nutritional therapists then. There's a number of things that you've seen in here that you've already seen with nutrition and lifestyle coaches. But studying nutritional therapy expands your audience or changes your audience slightly, if you like. So you can work with clients, but you might be working with different clients. You might be working with clients with more complex health issues. We have a number of graduates who have specialized in different conditions. We have graduates who are working specifically with hormonal imbalances and in the area of fertility. We have graduates who are specifically working with Alzheimer and dementia patients because of the amazing work that is going on with nutrition and lifestyle and Alzheimer's at the moment. So it allows you to specialize if that's what you want to do. In terms of education, you may be looking at educating future nutritional therapists or other healthcare professionals, and that might be through a college, it might be through supplement companies as a nutrition advisor, or with testing companies as well. It could be contributing to industry, academic or general interest publications. We have graduates who their literature reviews 2 years ago were actually published in a peer-reviewed journal, which is very exciting. So there's that level of writing. There are opportunities within, for example, the NHS, the HSC, etc. You can move on to postgraduate research. The CNELM, who are the Centre for Nutrition Education and Lifestyle Management, run an MSc in personalised nutrition, and they accept our graduates straight onto their MSc because they realise the quality of the course, the number of learning hours, the level that it's written to. So you don't need to transfer onto a BSc before going towards your MSc, if you like. So there's lots of different avenues in terms of career or further study. So nutritional therapy at IHS then, I'm mentioning that functional medicine model again because we really do embed that model into our course. It's become a bit of a buzzword, and a lot of sort of training providers will talk about teaching functional medicine, but always check what is the depth of functional medicine and how are you using the tools, are the tools being used? Because we run it throughout the units of the course, as you'll see when I go through the basic content of the course. I think I've kind of already told you enough about it, but what I want to do is show you these diagrams because I think they really help to show how the model works. So with the functional medicine model, they believe that you should look at the body in terms of how it functions as opposed to just different systems. If you look at them as different systems, you tend to get quite a reductionist approach to healthcare, because with an individual who has cardiovascular issues, they will just be with a cardiologist who is just looking at that part of them. Whereas with functional medicine, they believe that the body is just a whole web of interactions and that it has a number of different functions, and it categorizes those into 7 different functions. So you can see we've got defense and repair, we've got energy, biotransformation and elimination, transport of different things around the body, communication, different systems of the body, structural integrity and assimilation. And that if there's an imbalance in any one of these, then it will have a knock-on effect in one or more of the others. And that what healthcare professionals should be doing is working on these, ensuring that these underlying imbalances don't occur and that the body can do all these functions as optimally as possible. So their way of working with chronic disease is improving the functional status of the body. And they believe that that is not just a physical thing, that our mental, emotional, and spiritual health all impacts how those 7 functions are working in the body. And a great way to kind of look at it is through this tree. So I love this analogy. And basically we've got a tree here, and at the top you can see that we're looking at different disease states. So these would be named conditions in our kind of realm of healthcare, if you like, in the West at the moment. So you can see things like heart disease, Alzheimer's, diabetes, autoimmune conditions, a number of named conditions. And when we, as healthcare providers, only work with those named conditions, it's like looking at a tree and trying to treat it at the leaves, okay? So almost like saying, gosh, that tree's not looking very healthy. The leaves are a bit brown. Let's paint them green and then everything's fine. Of course, we know that it isn't. To get to the cause of the problem, we need to start going to the roots, which is why the tree is such a great analogy. So a deeper level would be looking at kind of the trunk level and saying, okay, well, what kind of core dysfunctions are going on here? And that would be the imbalances that we were looking at on the previous slide. So are there issues with defense and repair? So that's manifesting as inflammation. Are there issues in the communication system? So we're seeing hormonal imbalances, these kind of things. But actually, they are caused by our diet, our lifestyle, by genetic predispositions, by potentially things like low-grade infections, physical traumas that we're still carrying around, our attitude to health, wellness, our life. And that is where the functional medicine model believes we should be working in terms of an individual trying to be well, but as healthcare professionals trying to address issues with chronic disease. So I hope that is a clear analogy for you. And this is another diagram that I love. You can see I'm a very visual learner. This is the illness-wellness continuum. And this, again, demonstrates where we believe we should be working as healthcare professionals and where as a nutritional therapist you would be trying to work. So you can see here that we are all on a spectrum of wellness, either from high-level wellness on the right there to premature death on the left. And that in order to be in the high level wellness section, you need awareness, you need education, you need growth. So you need to be actively working towards high level health. But a lot of people aren't, and therefore they're moving into the other side of the spectrum, which is towards premature death, where you're seeing signs and symptoms of disease and maybe even disabilities, things that are really becoming quite fundamental. Now, the problem is that's a lot of people walking around in the West, a lot of people with little niggles. I just, I get up in the morning, I don't feel great, I'm a bit achy, I'm a bit tired, got a constantly running nose, all these things that you will hear all the time. Now, what's interesting is by the time you see those signs and symptoms, you're already moving towards premature death. But you're probably not going to be treated until they're more significant signs and symptoms. So we know that something like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, the neurological conditions that are of massive concern at the moment, you're about 80% into the disease state before there is treatment options or before it's potentially even diagnosed. So we want to be working as healthcare professionals to keep people well rather than just reacting when they're not healthy. So getting more onto the logistics of the course then. So the nutritional therapy diploma, just a reminder, the first year is the diploma in nutrition and lifestyle coaching. There are then 2 other standalone awards in the IHS Diploma in Nutritional Therapy. So after year 2, you get a UK Level 5 Diploma in Nutrition and Lifestyle evaluating their role in chronic disease development. And then after year 3 and your intensive clinical practice, which is a further 6 months, you get a diploma in personalised nutrition and therapeutics. And if you receive all those, you're then eligible for our diploma in nutritional therapy. So this just means that you get a recognised qualification at the end of each year. So you know that if you had to dip out, if life got in the way, that you can take something away. And you know that you're getting awards that are externally verified as you're working through as well. So each year is recognised by Crossfields Institute, who are an Ofqual regulated accreditation body. So a little more detail then. Year 2 of the nutritional therapy program. This course really examines the research and considers if and how nutrition and lifestyle contribute to chronic disease development. So you've got all your basic nutrition from your diploma in nutrition and lifestyle coaching, and now you're going at a deeper level. What does the research say? Does nutrition and lifestyle contribute to chronic disease development? Because as a nutritional therapist, you need to know. We assume it does, but is the research there? The reason we design our course like this is because we want to put out thinking therapists, people who can research for themselves and keep current in the industry. So we're not throwing out a load of IHS robot graduates who all look at nutrition in a particular way. We want you to challenge, we want you to think for yourself and be comfortable with where you would sit in the healthcare arena, knowing that sometimes some of the tools that are used in nutritional therapy, there is less of an evidence base, or there's only emerging research as opposed to other tools that are very well researched. So then you can decide which ones you're comfortable using. So this year, in order to do that, we look at how chronic disease develops, and then in year 3, we look at the tools to manage it, if that makes sense. Okay, so year 2 then, these are the themes that run throughout the year. There are 12 units in total. But they're in 6 kind of themes, if you like. So we start you off with looking at research methods and the current realm of healthcare. So what is the landscape of healthcare globally at the moment? Which healthcare, which chronic diseases are the biggest issue, where, why, etc. We then move into nutritional biochemistry. So you go to a deeper level, looking at those nutrients and food groups again, and really understanding what happens to them in the body, how they interact with the cells before they leave the body, or if they don't leave the body, how they're broken down, etc. We then move into the physiology section, so looking at how the body works when it's working as it should. And we do this from an integrative perspective, so trying to match it to the functional medicine teaching. So pulling systems together into functions as opposed to teaching it just as disparate, different systems of the body. So looking at the communication systems, the transport systems, etc. So that's when the body's working well. We then move into the functional medicine imbalances, and we teach each of the imbalances that I showed you on the slides earlier in the functional medicine model. And this is when the body isn't working as it should. So it's kind of pre-disease, if you like. How do you get to a chronic condition? And this is where functional medicine model really comes into its own, explaining that. We then move on to pathophysiology, and you look at a number of conditions, but we really hone in on 3 conditions to demonstrate how chronic disease really develops. And the research behind it. So that's metabolic syndrome, autoimmune conditions, and chronic fatigue syndrome. Because metabolic syndrome in all healthcare arenas is really seen as a nutrition and lifestyle disease. So does the functional medicine model and the biomedical model agree on how that works? What is the research that is there? But then moving to the opposite end of the spectrum, which is something like chronic fatigue syndrome, where there's just a complete lack of understanding. And the question that we're really asking is, does functional medicine give any additional tools or any hope to these patients, if you like? So we'll look at the current research on that. And then there's clinical practice woven throughout that as well. So in year 2, we take you through the first part of the nutritional therapy consultation and get you really good at that. So that is information gathering and interpreting the information that you've got. So we get you to ask all the right questions, and then using the functional medicine and the tools and paperwork, make an interpretation for how a client has got to where they've got to health-wise. Then we move on to level 6, UK level 6, which is year 3 of this program, year 3 and an additional 6 months. So that is your diploma in personalised nutrition and therapeutics. And the ultimate aim of this year is to, now you understand how chronic disease develops, look at the toolkit that is available to nutritional therapists, look at the research behind it, and look at how you might work with individuals and what tools are there and do they work, is there any evidence, etc., etc. So it's really helping develop your clinic skills and ensuring that you are potentially a really safe and effective nutritional therapist and able to competently use functional medicine tools. So in terms of content then of the course, it's kind of in 5 themes, if you like, and there's 10 units. So we start off looking at critical and creative thinking, and personal nutrition, so personalized nutrition. So making sure again that you're really comfortable with how you'll be working, with what your role is as a nutritional therapist, and some of the terms that are out there: integrative healthcare, personalized healthcare, etc., and where you fit within all those. And ensuring that you're developing your research skills, but also your creative thinking skills, because they're just as important for a nutritional therapist. You're having to creatively put together personalized protocols for individuals, so that can require some real creative thinking, and also to build different avenues in your career. We then look at the building blocks of a therapeutic plan, so your basic toolkit. So we go back to your foods, your nutrients, your supplements, and your lifestyle factors that you can be advising on, and look at the research behind them at a nutritional therapy level. What can be used, what can't, what has worked, what hasn't. And then we put those through a functional medicine lens. So we go back to the imbalances that we looked at in year 2 and look at how that model would utilise the tools that we've gone through in the previous units in order to address clinical imbalances. And then we go back to the disease states, and specifically metabolic syndrome, and look at how that all works in terms of case studies and working with individuals. And again, there's clinical practice woven throughout that course. So we look at the second part of the consultation, which is creating meal plans and supplement protocols and lifestyle advice for clients, and how you do that over a number of consultations with a number of, we work through increasingly complex cases in order to do that, and how you communicate to a client at a nutritional therapy level. Assessments, very similar in terms of format to nutrition and lifestyle coaching. So again, there's no exam. You're working towards your case studies and your live case studies, doing various bits and pieces. There's quizzes, reflective journals, audio presentations, in-class presentations if you're an in-class student, all kinds of things. And then you have your clinical practice in year 4, which is 6 months. This is when we put you in small groups of 3 or 4 students. You work with one mentor on each of the days that you're with us, and you're completing cases, live clinic cases, or you're observing your peers doing the same thing and working together as a group on cases over a number of live consultations. So overall, in terms of clinical hours with the diploma in nutritional therapy, there's over 250 hours, and we believe it's real quality clinic hours, so not just sort of a feed into a room watching somebody else doing it. We're breaking down the consultation for you. We're building up your skills step by step. Before we let you loose with live clients, we're letting you work with your peers to practice your different skills. We're reflecting and growing as clinicians, and then you're doing cases before you leave us. And again, cases with follow-up so that you're seeing how your clients progress. So the course structure then, all that, it's 3.5 years, years 1 to 3, and then the 6 months clinical practice. It can be done, this program, part-time study in Dublin, so it's the 10 weekends per year structure, or it can now be done entirely online. And in terms of recommended study hours, it does increase year on year. So level 5, you're looking at finding about 15 hours of study per week. And then level 6, that can be up to 20 at busier periods when you're, kind of working with clients and cases, etc. Start dates for this course, it's the same as NLC, because NLC is the first year. So the next start date is right upon us. It's Monday, so September 2018, and that's online and in class. If you want to do the online version, you could start at a later point in the year, so you could do your NLC in Feb, or starting in May, June. We only currently run years 2 and 3 with a start date in September at the moment, so it just might mean that there's a little gap in your studies after year 1 if you choose to do it that way. Fees wise, it's 3,495 for year 1, 4,195 for years 2 and 3, and 1,750. That's the in-class prices. For online students, years 2 and 3 are 3,695, and clinical practice is the same. It's 1,750. And again, there are monthly payment plans available. And in terms of graduates, I've actually talked you through some of our graduates already. So Kira on the right there is the graduate who is working particularly in the fertility arena. Lisa is a great example of doing a number of things. She's pursued a number of different avenues. She has a regular radio slot. She works in the corporate world. She has teamed up with a gym in Dublin and works on nutrition for active individuals with them. So she's doing a number of different things in the industry, as well as working with one-to-one clients. So that is all the information from me. If you just bear with me, then I'm going to work down your questions. So somebody has asked, is there a free trial for the therapy part? There isn't. We only currently have a free trial for the nutrition and lifestyle coaching, because it's the first part of the course anyway. If somebody is interested in seeing later material, we can certainly supply you with some examples of course material. It's just not going to be as structured as our free trial, but we're very kind of open to showing material, so you can see what you'd be getting into. You just need to contact us individually about that, and we can work that out for you. Can the practice be done abroad as an independent practitioner? So We always say to anyone who is looking at taking on a practitioner course, the onus is with you to ensure that you can practice in your country, because every country is different. We can give you a list of countries that Baylands insure through. So UK, Ireland is covered. There's a chunk of different European countries as well. And then we just say to other graduates, just check with the authorities in the country that you're going to. If we know of graduates who've worked there, then we will give you the information. But you do need to check, because, you know, insurance situations can change, and we might not know in every country what is going on at any given point. Is functional medicine the same as orthomolecular medicine? It kind of, yes and no. It's not exactly the same thing. It's the same principles and philosophies. It's all about personalized medicine. Orthomolecular medicine is really quite focused on nutrigenomics and the link between nutrition and genetics. Functional medicine, that's a part of functional medicine. Functional medicine is more a model of how to practice, if you like, but they would certainly come from the same place in terms of philosophy and the ethos behind it, if you like. I've got a couple of questions that have come through on chat. Is there a gain in how you are allowed to practice in completing year 2 without years 3 and 4? Am I correct that if you start year 2, you should be committed to doing 3 and 4 if you want to progress in the career? Okay, I think I understand what you're asking. I think you're saying, could you do year 1 and then come into year 2 and then just leave? You could, but you're not going to be qualified as a nutritional therapist. So the vast majority of students who come on to year 2, it is with a view of completing the full nutritional therapy diploma. Individuals who haven't and have just done it as a kind of standalone, it's because they're already healthcare professionals. So we have had GPs who have done that, who just want to understand the functional medicine model better. They have actually ended up going on to do year 3 anyway, because that's when more of the practical stuff comes in anyway. But this is a kind of thing where if you contact us directly, we can chat you through this, and we will give you your best options for kind of what you're wanting to do with the qualification, if you like. I think that is all the questions. Thank you very much for your time. I'm very aware that I've kept you over the hour. It's not too bad. I'm only 15 minutes over, which, with the amount of questions, is a minor miracle. I hope that this has been of use to you. Again, if you have any questions about nutritional therapy, please contact us. We will be sending you all through a copy of this presentation tomorrow via email, so feel free to respond to that email and ask any questions that you want to. If you're looking to start in September, I just reiterate again that time is of the essence, so I'd almost get on the enrolment form now, get it into us, and then we can start that process. If you want to sign up for the free trial, same thing. Get on there now. We'll get you set up as soon as possible, so you can even have tried it out before Monday if you're looking at a September start. Thank you very much again. I am going to call it a night now. Someone has thanked me for the presentation. You're very welcome. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you very much.